In this video, we look at various methods of wastewater treatment. Treating wastewater appropriately is essential for maintaining environmental quality and for reducing the spread of waterborne diseases. Water is the most important potential common source of infectious disease because a single water source can often serve large numbers of people, as for example in major cities. Thus, the microbiology of water, water transport systems, and treatments of both wastewater and drinking water are of the utmost importance to public health. Methods to purify wastewaters rely on the activities of microbial communities that reduce levels of organic carbon, fixed nitrogen, and phosphorus from waste stream. The water resulting from washing, bathing, cooking, drinking, food processing in homes, liquid industrial wastewater is what we call sewage. It is gray or black in color, and it is the liquid effluent contaminated with human or animal fecal materials and may contain potentially harmful chemicals as well as pathogenic microorganisms. This is the reason why sewage cannot be discarded in untreated form into lakes or streams because of public health, economic, environmental, and aesthetic considerations. The major objective of wastewater treatment is to reduce organic and inorganic materials in wastewater to a level that no longer supports microbial growth and to eliminate other potentially toxic materials. The efficiency of treatment is expressed in terms of a reduction in the biochemical oxygen demand or the BOD, the relative amount of dissolved oxygen consumed by microorganisms to completely oxidize all organic and inorganic materials in a water sample. So high levels of organic and inorganic materials in the wastewater result in a high BOD. Typical BOD values for domestic wastewater, including sewage, are approximately 200 milligrams of oxygen per liter. For industrial wastewater from sources such as dairy plants, the values can be as high as 1500 milligrams per liter. So an efficient wastewater treatment facility reduces BOD levels to less than 5 milligrams per liter in the final treated water. Effective water treatment plants use the primary and secondary treatment method shown here. Water from the primary treatment undergoes aerobic oxidation, while sludge collected from screening and sedimentation is being collected from and it will undergo anaerobic digestion. Also, tertiary treatment now shown here may also be used to reduce the nutrient levels in waters released to the environment, reducing BOD, nitrogen, and phosphorus to very low to undetectable levels. Let us look at this diagram to show primary and secondary treatment methods in details. So the wastewater that enters the sewage treatment plant is first filtered through bar screens, a process known as screening. The bar screen separates trash objects from the wastewater, such as rags, sticks, cans, and so on. So these are then removed from time to time. The effluent that passes through the bar screen is forced to flow slowly through a tank known as the grit chamber. Because wastewater flows slowly, grit and sand settle to the bottom because of gravity. This grit and sand is periodically removed from the tank. The effluent is then moved into a first sedimentation or settling tank, allowing heavier organic solids called sludge to settle down. Some oil and grease may also be floating in the surface. A skimmer collects these floating materials. So the solids that settle to the bottom of the settling tank are typically treated in an anaerobic digester that consumes these solids and generates methane for energy recovery. Anaerobic digester is a system that takes an organic waste stream and through the process of anaerobic digestion, meaning in the absence of oxygen, microbes break down the waste stream, which generates biogas in the process, resulting in an effluent with lower BOD, COD, and TTS. And as a result, wastewater treatment yields two useful products. First is a biogas, and second is a sludge. Biogas is used as a fuel and sludge is used as a fertilizer. Now we move to the secondary sewage treatment. So at this stage, the primarily clarified water from the first settling tank is moved into the aeration tank. In this tank, aerobic bacteria already exist in the waterways. So compressed air is bubbled through the waterways in the aeration tank to provide oxygen for aerobic bacteria to activate and grow rapidly in this water. The treated water waste from the aeration tank is moved into the second settling tank and allowed to settle. So the microorganisms used in the aeration tank settled at the bottom, forming a fine sludge known as activated sludge. It is known as activated sludge because it contains active microorganisms such as aerobic bacteria and oxygen. So this is a picture of a secondary settling tank. So activated sludge consists of a community of slime forming aerobic bacteria, including in particular the Zoglia remigera or the beta-prot bacteria. So protists, small animals, filamentous bacteria, and fungi also attach to the flux. The activated sludge is mixed, aerated, circulated in the treatment tanks to promote oxidation of organic carbon by bacteria. Some of the activated sludge is then returned to the aerator as inoculum for new wastewater, and the rest is commonly pumped to an anaerobic sludge digester. So because the volumes of wastewater needing treatment, wastewaters normally stay in an activated sludge tank for 5 to 10 hours, insufficient for complete oxidation of all organic matter. However, during this time, much soluble organic matter is absorbed to the flux, incorporated by microbial cells, reducing the BOD by up to 95%, and the flux are then transferred to the anoxic sludge digester for anaerobic degradation to carbon dioxide and methane gas. The trickling filter is an alternative method of aerobic secondary treatment as shown here. So a trickling filter is a bed of crushed rocks about 2 meters thick. Wastewater is sprayed on top of the rocks and slowly passes through the bed. So the organic material in the wastewater absorbs to the rocks and microorganisms grow and forms biofilms on the large exposed rock surfaces. So the complete mineralization of organic matter to CO2, ammonia, nitrate, sulfate, and phosphate takes place in the extensive microbial biofilm that develops on the rocks. So before releasing the treated wastewater into the distribution system, it may be necessary to disinfect with chemicals such as chlorine. The goal of disinfection in wastewater treatment is to completely remove any harmful microorganisms from the water before it is discharged back into the environment. The treated wastewater can also be filtered through sand layers. The majority of the remaining suspended matter in the treated wastewater is removed by sand filtration. That is all for this video. Thanks for watching!